Yes, and it was an awesome event. I loved your cigar party. Can they hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh, shit. Oops. I broke the sound. It's all my fault.
All right, there we are. Okay, how about now? Can you hear me now, guys? There we go. They said they can hear you, but not me. But I think I've just fixed it. So
Can you guys hear him?
yeah, they'll let me know. There's a slight delay, so we'll see what happens. There we go. Yep. All right, I figured. All right, sorry about that, guys. Okay, so take two. Thank you. Take two. All right, so what's up, guys? It's your man Donovan Sharpe once again, and welcome to this special Tuesday edition of TSR Live. I am joined by adult film actress Tiffany Fox, and I'm going to go ahead and repeat what I just repeated and what I repeated yesterday. Guys, I'm not going to tolerate disrespect. No concern trolling type questions. If you guys have a question to ask, make sure they're respectful and they come from a genuine place of curiosity. If you're looking to troll people, then this is not it. If you want to be a troll, that's fine. Just do it somewhere else. This is not the fresh and fit chat. Love those guys to death, but I want my guests to be respectful of my audience and vice versa. So that's the way we are going to do it today. So if there is any disrespect whatsoever, I'm going to ban the fuck out of you. I don't care if your name is Donovan Sharpe. If I'm disrespectful, I'm going to ban myself, just so you guys know. Just so you guys know how that goes. Okay, so Tiffany, let's have a little fun here. So you were present at my event, the Conference of Masculine Excellence, and when I saw you at the cigar bar, I did recognize you. You were one of Troy Francis's guests, and we'll be on with him a little bit later. And you told me that so you put your number in my phone as Tiffany Fox Botox. Tell the audience. Because you had a bone to pick with me. You said, you're the reason I got Botox. Tell them the story.
So I was on Access Vegas back in August with Rolo Michael Sartain when Adam Sosnick was on and Troy was on. And you were ripping the episode for your 1000th episode.
Yeah.
He's like, oh God, guys, there's the old porn star that needs Botox. And then like I was like watching it, I'm like, what the fuck, Donovan? But then everything else he said about me was like really nice, so I couldn't be too mad. And then I got invited to go to your conference, and then I'm like, how should I open? So I introduced myself. Hey, I'm Tiffany. I'm the bitch that needs Botox. I got it because of you. See, right here on my smile lines.
Listen, man. Listen, I call him like I see him. I tell my wife, hey, look, it's time to get Botox. No one is immune from my honesty, not even my own wife. So if I think a bitch needs Botox, I'm gonna be like, yo, check it out. You need Botox. So that is what it is. Let's have a little bit more fun and talk about one more thing that happened at the cigar bar, and that was when I kicked Pixie out of my cigar bar event. There are people who doubt the ferocity with which I addressed Miss Pixie. I just want you to tell the crowd what happened in your eyes, because you were there. You saw the.
I thought you were yelling at Miguel.
No. So tell the people what happened.
I feel bad because like Pixie's a really nice girl to me and stuff. I got nothing negative to say, but then I can understand why you said what you said, and I felt so bad for her. Like I had to make sure she was okay by the time she left because she felt so bad. Like, so I'm sitting there and I'm enjoying myself,
Right.
and then all of a sudden I hear Donovan going off like a fucking rocket. And like I started laughing because I didn't know who he was laughing at, but he was just like going off like it's the 4th of July, like fireworks. And then I realized he was going off on Pixie, and I'm like, oh shit. And that's kind of Troy's fault because Troy invited her, but he didn't know.
Yeah. I told him,
So,
look, Troy asked me, he's like, hey man, I got a couple of girls I'd like to bring to the cigar bar. I was like, hey, no problem. I had no idea. And Troy, to his credit, he didn't know. He was very apologetic. He's like, Troy, I've known you since 15.
So bad.
I know. But Dr. B84 says I was right next to him when it happened. Legendary stuff. Guys, I say it all the time. I am the same on and off the camera. That's just how it goes. Derek the Trader with the $5 super chat says, Tiffany, thank you for... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. There we go. Says, Tiffany, thank you for being here. If a young woman, and I was actually going to ask you this from Derek, if a young woman asked you about joining the adult industry, what would you tell her? Very good
That's
question.
an amazing question. So there's a list of things I would go through. Like, okay, are you sure that you're aware this is going to be on the internet forever?
Right.
Are you aware there's going to be people pirating the movie and posting it everywhere all over like the dark web and everything?
Right.
Are you aware that your family will find out? Because even though you don't think they will, and you block your OF or whatever it is, they will find out.
Okay.
Like, there's no way of keeping it a secret from anybody. And it's like, not only that, you're going to be wearing a scarlet letter for the rest of your life.
Wow, the scarlet letter for the rest of your life. Okay.
You gotta be sure that you want to do it, but just be aware, like, it will tear you down mentally.
Okay.
Throughout the time. Like, I've been doing it for 12 years, so it's like I've been on a mental roller coaster. Like, there's been girls that committed suicide, God rest their souls.
Wow.
There's girls that committed suicide, like over bowling and all the other stuff. Like, I had people trying to make me commit suicide, especially people that like. People are like, giving me shit for trying to exit the adult industry.
Yeah.
And it's like, shouldn't he be cheering me on? Shouldn't he be like cheering me on? I'm on to like better things, and I'm trying to like, get myself to a better place. Because when I got into it, I had to do what I had to do to survive and pay my bills.
Sure.
Like, I don't have my family. I've been on my own since I was 16 years old.
Ah, gotcha. That makes perfect sense. So why? So in your opinion, and I don't want you to put words in anybody's mouths here, but why do adult film actresses, we'll just call them AFAs, why did those AFAs commit suicide? Is it something that you don't know, something you're not privy to? Did
A
they
lot
tell
of
you?
it is like depression, like
Okay.
with how fans make people feel. Like people say the most awful things to us, but people forget that like we are human, we have emotions, we have feelings. Like a lot of us are good people. Like
Sure.
I like to think I'm a very good person. Like
Sure.
I'm very respectful to people. I use manners. I'm very polite. But there's like people that have a lot of anger, a lot of hate inside of them, and we're just an easy target for them.
Wow. Wow. Very, very. Yeah.
People are people are really nice to us, and that's like another reason why I'm trying to get out of it. Is it's like I can't take it anymore with like how
Really?
people are to me.
Okay. Okay. What kind of well, I guess guess we're right into it. Why are you trying to get out of the business? Like I mean, for obvious reasons, but just tell us, why are you trying to get out of the business?
Well, I'm going through like what Rolo likes to call the epiphany stage. Like
Okay.
Tiffany's having an epiphany. But it's also, I shot a scene last month or earlier this month, and it's like I didn't feel good after it. The people are very nice to me. They're very respectful. Nothing wrong with the company, nothing wrong with the crew, nothing wrong with the talent. They're all nice. It was a me thing. Like it like hit me like a truck, and I didn't feel good after my scene. I didn't feel good when I woke up. Like
Wow.
I just like I really didn't feel good. And I haven't been feeling good for months. It's like, with the economy and everything,
Yeah.
porn stars and exotic dancers will be the first ones to tell you that the economy isn't doing well.
Huh. Because
I called it back in like when everything started happening with COVID. I'm like, we're gonna go into a recession, guys, probably a depression. I think the
wow.
interest rates are gonna be worse than the Great Depression and all this other shit. And God, Rolo's actually texting me. Hi, Rolo.
Shout
But
out to Rollo Tomasi.
But yeah, I called that inflation was gonna go up, everything was gonna go to shit. They're not gonna have a budget to pay us. There's gonna be an influx of all these new girls. So the work is actually really scarce. So economically it's best for me to move on, but also too the whole artificial intelligence thing.
Oh
That
yeah.
also is quite terrifying too, because AI corn movies
Hmm.
are on the way. They're already making AI models,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
models are gonna be obsolete and all this other crap.
Wow. You know what? It's interesting because we hear all the time the adult industry, mainly the videos, it's $1 billion industry. There's all this money to be made, but you're telling me that the sex worker industry is kind of in a recession. How does that happen,
Well,
in your opinion?
also too, it's like a meat grinder. So it's
Okay.
like, you have the meat that's been sitting out for a little bit, and then you have the fresh meat coming out. So they're all gonna
Gotcha.
grab the fresh meat, and like they pretty much run through girls like it's nothing. There's girls in and out every couple months. I'm one of the few girls that stuck around for a minute.
Now,
And it mentally wears on you, dude.
sure, sure. Now, why? Now, it's as far as I know, most girls don't last in the business for that long. But you have your Lisa Ann's, your Brandy Loves, and I haven't watched porn in almost 8 years.
I love Brandy Love. I hate Lisa Ann.
Really? You
I,
told me this. Tell the audience why you hate Lisa Ann.
so there was a pandering charge against sorry, excuse me.
No, you're good.
There was a pandering charge against this agent called Derek Hay from LA Direct Models, and
Okay.
he pandered all of his girls because he made more money pandering. He actually had the business registered as a book company,
And what do you
so
mean by
that's how he
pandering?
laundered his money.
Oh, so what do you mean by pandering? Define that for those.
Pandering in legal terms is like pimping and pretty much prostituting the models.
Oh, wow.
And so there'll be these girls like going up to thinking that they're going to a shoot, and it's like an old man with a 1990s camcorder.
Oh,
There's so many
wow.
stories about it. And Lisa Ann actually silenced the girls.
Wow. Ay, ay,
I
ay,
don't
ay,
like
ay.
her. I think she's a sack of shit. Like honestly, Donovan, it took everything out of my power to not beat her with her own book at a convention.
Wow. Wow. So just to make sure I'm understanding this correctly, pandering is when a company basically so a guy basically pays this company, hey, I want to fuck this girl, but we have to make it look like we're doing it as a scene. And literally all it is he's just paying to fuck this girl, and she's under the impression that it's a scene.
That happened back in like 2014, 2015.
Oh, wow.
Like I used to be with his agency. He tried doing that to me, and I literally walked out of the room. I'm like, this isn't a shoot. Like, I was like one of the smart girls to realize it.
Sure.
And I actually got blackballed from the industry for a number of years, like 5 years, because I started speaking up about it. And then Lisa Ann tried silencing me. So.
Oh, okay. So fuck you, Lisa Ann.
Yeah, I'm honestly, if I see her, I'd rather avoid her because my claws are gonna come out and I'm not gonna stop.
Let me ask you this: do adult film actresses, do they get along for the most part? Are there rivalries? Is it kind of a mixed bag?
There's a lot of rivalries. Like, you know what? I like to say that girls in porn are either by themselves, bisexual, or bipolar.
Wait, by themselves, bisexual or bipolar? Oh my god. Okay,
Me,
very
I'm
good.
bisexual, so.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know. Look, you could be bipolar too. Like, we don't know that.
Nah.
That hasn't been verified yet. Okay, so
I
there.
smoke too much weed to be bipolar. I'm way cool.
Shit, I'm bipolar as a matter of habit.
I saw.
Well, you know what? It's interesting. I have been diagnosed with intermittent explosive disorder. That's just the medical term of saying that I have a really, really quick temper. And listen, shout out to you and Pixie. Whatever you and her have going on, I'm not mad at it, but I don't think that I have to explain to you my disdain, because that was on full display.
Yeah, I like her. She hasn't given me any reason to not like her. She's been sweet, but I mean, I understand why you went off. I just felt bad for her after.
Yeah,
I didn't know what to do. I just wanted to give her a hug.
I didn't feel bad. If I'm being honest, it actually felt kind of good. Anyway. King Life with a $10 super chat. This is a question for you, Tiffany. He says, has there been times when boyfriends met your coworkers? Have you ever felt an invisible wall you have up with coworkers / boyfriends? So have you ever dated someone who met a coworker? And if so, how did that go?
Actually, no, never. I always keep that separate. I keep my dating life separate from my career life. Always to, like, you know, protect the dude, because I'm very protective about, like, you know, any outsiders trying to, like, go after them and stuff, and respect of the man.
Okay,
I try to keep it separate.
Very good. Good answer. Ostrike with the $5 super chat. He wants to know, Tiffany, if you had to guess, what percentage of American women do or have done some form of sex work openly or otherwise? Good question. I guess this is just an opinion thing, huh?
I mean, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. So my opinion is, like, I think it's at least 70%. You know, I think like women have hopped in, hop out, especially with the age of the internet.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually just talking to someone recently about, like, the whole body count thing, and I think a lot of women lie about their body count.
You think? Yeah, there's no.
I would actually have a really low body count if I never did porn. Like, my body count would probably be like 8.
8 dozen?
No, 8.
So you're telling me that outside of the business you have slept with 8 people?
Stop the cap.
You sure about that?
Okay, I will. Maybe 12.
Oh, there it is. There it is. I knew it. Listen, I knew we'd get to the truth. It started at 8. Now she moved it up to 12. In another half an hour, it'll be 35. Eventually, we'll get closer to the real number. You guys know how that goes. Dre Raven, I was actually gonna ask this question with the $5 super chat. So you and I just discussed that the average spicy movie career for girls is very short. Dre Raven wants to know, what's your secret to the mental resiliency in the industry? So is the reason why you've been able to last over a decade in the industry is because of your physical fitness, your mental fitness, either, neither, or both?
I would say both, and then also limiting my limitations and slowly opening them to have a longevity in the industry. Because if you sign up to do adult movies and it's like, okay, I do DP, I do anal, just the, you know, keep it.
We call it backdoor fun, BDF.
Okay, so we do the backdoor, the double, do airtight.
Yep. Well, airtight would be triple though, right?
Well, yeah, I mean,
because
like,
you can
anything
still
that's more than just one.
Okay, I mean, we're not doing ears. We're just going mouth, backdoor, and the vajayjay, I imagine.
Airtight.
Roadblock 85 with the $10 super chat says, shout out to Big Don. So we discussed a little bit earlier. You said that you've been on your own since you were 16 years old. You've been in the business for 12 years. What was your childhood like?
On the lines of traumatic, it was pretty traumatic.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, I lost my dad to suicide when I was
Oh, God.
almost 6.
Oh, my
I
God. Oh, boy.
I watched him commit it, and it
So
took me
you
a
watched.
while.
So you watched your father off himself? Ay, 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 ay. Okay. Well,
Like I saved his life, but it's like he's mentally disabled because it's like when you cut off all the oxygen in your brain, you give yourself brain damage, you kill your brain cells. So he has anoxia. So when I was 4 or 5 years old, he did it. We were living in Boston, not Boston, Plymouth, Massachusetts, and my dad was a software engineer. And it's like really crazy when we talk about the red pill stuff on shows because it's like my mother was. I don't think she was that sane to him. He wanted to leave. She wouldn't let him leave.
oh, boy.
And he thought suicide was the only way to leave. And he did it in front of me. So he wanted me to be
Oh,
the
my
last
God.
person he saw.
Oh, my
He
God.
was
Jesus.
he was a brilliant man. I mean, a lot of people never don't really lose their father at a young age. I mean,
Sure.
some do. But it's like I never had a father to tell me like how I should be treated, how I shouldn't be treated,
Sure.
what I should stand for, what I shouldn't stand for. And I was raised by a single mother. My mother was very like physically and mentally abusive,
Oh,
and so was
boy.
my sister. So when I was going to school, it's like I didn't have any peace at school, and I had no peace at home. People made fun of me for my mom being a single mom. People made fun of my dad being a suicide survivor. My mom actually broke his chest bone because they couldn't resuscitate him.
What? Are you
And
kidding me?
She broke his chest bone, and that got his heart to beat.
Holy moly. Wow. Okay. So after you lose your dad, what happens from there? So take me from the loss of your dad to 16 years old and I'm now on my own.
Well, I mean, my mother was very abusive.
Sure.
I got a job through the ROP program to work at Knott's Berry Farm, so I was a games attendant.
Ah, very good.
That was my first job. I worked
Okay.
at Knott's, and I started saving up my money, and it's like I like moved out because it's like I was sick of being abused.
Sure.
I went to my school, I went to the courthouse, I went to all this stuff, and like I'm like, hey, my mother abuses me. I have a job. I want to go.
Okay.
And so I was able to graduate high school. I signed my own loans to go to college for media arts. And then I quit college because I didn't like Disney Pixar. I had an internship at Disney Pixar, and they absolutely drove me nuts.
Oh, I imagine. So were you emancipated? It sounds like you were emancipated.
I was emancipated, like getting a
Wow.
divorce from my parents.
Okay, yeah. So what age were you emancipated?
16.
16, and you've been on your own since you're 16. So how did you end up in the adult film business? What were the series of events that led you to doing that?
I was working at a head shop when I was going to college, and I mean that's like where they sell water pipes and
bongs and all that. Yeah, paraphernalia.
The green paraphernalia or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had someone piss me off. I broke a water pipe and I threatened to shank them with it because like they wouldn't leave. And then I got fired.
Yeah, that's a good way to keep your job.
And then I got fired. And so I was walking around. I was trying to find a job. I couldn't find a job. I was about to be homeless.
Wow.
And I got into porn.
Okay.
I was walking around 12 to 14 hours a day around the city of Los Angeles.
Okay. So that's how you got into the business. Did you actively look for the business, or, I mean, did you go to a strip?
I literally was about to be homeless, and I needed to like get tested and do a shoot right away.
Oh, and how were you made aware of where you can go do the shoot? Because I can't imagine that they're passing out flyers, right?
I had a lot of friends like tell me I should get into it. I Googled it. I looked at agencies, and like I found OCM.
Okay.
And OC Modeling. They're pretty good and stuff. I'm still friends with the lady that owns it. She's really nice. And they got me started.
Okay, very good. How does and I know you're probably not too close to your mother if she's still alive. How does your family feel about your line of work? Are they supportive? Do they not know?
Well, they didn't know until I had an ex-boyfriend tell her what I did because I had all access passes to the Electric Daisy Carnival. I used to take pictures for Insomniac events, and
okay.
yeah, I did media and photography. So I was taking one of my exes I was just friends with because he helped me move.
Okay.
And, he decided to put his hands on me. And I'm like, well, you're not going anymore. I'm not going to take you. Like, and he told my mother.
Oh my God! Wow. So he
He
told
told
your
my
mother.
mother.
So he told your mother you were an adult film actress because of that.
Oh, she hated it until she needed money all of a sudden.
Oh yeah. Of course. Yeah, exactly. Did you send it to
40
her?
grand.
Whoa! Did you send it to her?
She kind of used my nephew to bait me for it.
Yeah,
You're going to do this
we
to your
always
nephew.
do.
Boo,
We
boo, boo.
always look.
I wanted to invest in Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I was about to put
Yeah.
some into Bitcoin.
Look, man, I have a complicated relationship with my mother too. I mean, everybody has issues with their parents, but yeah, like our mothers always find a way to extrapolate resources from us. I guess it's sort of a weakness. So let's get into the nitty gritty here. Talk about onset injuries. I mean, have you ever injured your vagina, anal, choking? Have you ever been to the hospital? STDs? Like, give us some physical
I've
horror
never had an
stories.
STD.
What?
I've never had an
Wow.
STD.
Okay, that means it's pretty safe.
I get tested every 2 weeks.
Okay.
I don't do scenes with bisexual men.
Okay.
I don't do trans.
Okay.
Call me transphobic. It is what it is. I don't like that switchy shit. You know what I mean? Not my thing.
Okay.
So that's how I'm able to like stay clean. I check tests. I do the QR codes. I also see who they work with.
Okay.
Um,
Have you ever been to
look for a
Have you
lot.
ever been to the hospital? Have you ever done a scene and then afterwards you're like, shit, man, like I think he really tore my ass up.
I actually had a booty hole bleed.
Oh wow. Ay. Now you haven't had any rosebuds or anything, have you?
Rosebuds?
You don't know what rosebud prawn is?
What's the slang word?
Oh my, that's what it is. It's called rosebud.
No.
It's basically when your anal hole is like turned inside out and it's
Oh, prolapse. No, I never had that.
Oh, that's the official word. Okay. Prolapse. Okay, very good. So you have never had a prolapse. Okay.
Never had prolapse.
So outside of the anal bleeding, that was really the only injury that you sustained.
Oh, that, and it's like, like I had my jaw cracked and stuff, so it's like sometimes my mouth would be like popping up like
Yeah.
I look like a sex doll, so there's that.
Sure.
No, I never really had any
Okay.
injuries.
All right. At least no career-ending injury. Have you ever heard of girls having quote-unquote career-ending injuries? Oh my
The
God,
girls,
that's a yes. Let's go. We got to hear about it. What happened?
there's I forgot her name. I don't want to say the wrong performer name, but there's this girl, and she had sex with a crossover performer and got HIV.
Oh my! And crossover means transformer.
He's fruity in the booty.
Oh wow! Oh, so he's a switch hitter. Oh wow! I like that fruity in the
Switch
booty.
hitter.
Wow! And she got HIV, and she couldn't perform anymore.
Yeah, she got HIV. But you know what I hear about the gay stuff? Like that, like most of the gay performers, they have HIV, and that's disgusting. That's another reason why I want to get out.
Are you kidding me? So
They take this medicine called PrEP, right? It's called PrEP. And it lowers your blood cell levels of HIV.
Yeah. And I see commercials all the time. There's all sorts of medications out there.
It's fucking gross.
Yeah, they're like, I stay undetectable. And I'm like, ooh, I know. Okay, I guess
That's disgusting. That's such a red flag when someone's like, I'm undetectable, but I have HIV. Like, so you're trying to lower your cell numbers to lie to your sexual partner.
Wow.
Like, that should be a crime.
Wow. So the career-ending injury was her catching HIV, and that was a wrap. Man, any other career-ending injuries that you've ever heard of or witnessed yourself?
No, just the HIV stuff.
Okay, all right. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's talk interracial scenes. This is a very controversial topic in these here parts. So let me ask you this: do you have a sexual racial preference? In other words, do you like performing with white guys or black guys more, and why?
Oh god, that's like such a toss one because you know what, the black guys are so nice. Like they're
Are they?
so nice. They're the nicest people. I love working with black guys.
There you go. As opposed to now, now are white guys not
No,
as
the white
nice?
guys are cool too,
Okay.
but but it's just like I've never had a brother that's been rude to me or disrespectful to me.
Why do you, and so you've had white guys who have been rude or disrespectful.
Yes.
Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that white? So you've never had so you've never had a bad experience with a black coworker, but you have with white coworkers. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think it's because we live in woke America too, so that might be another bit. I don't know, but it's like these guys would come in having issues with their girlfriends or whatever, and I'm
God.
just like, I got my own problems too, but I don't bring that to set.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like this is work. Like we all have a job to do. So
I
here's
mean,
a,
I don't got problems. No one gives a fuck about your problems. Like, you know, if you can't get it up, go home.
look. A buddy of mine who used to be he used to be an amateur adult film actress. He said if he said if 8 talents show up, one is getting kicked out of their house, they're going through eviction. One is going through a divorce or a breakup. Another is getting their car repossessed. Another one needs money quick, fast, and in a hurry. There is no such thing as an adult film actor or actress that doesn't have some sort of financial
That
or
isn't
emotional
broken. We're
problem.
all broken, Donovan. We're all
Dude,
broken. I mean, I'm
ay,
a
ay,
broken
ay.
woman, but it's like that's called accountability.
Yes, well, hey, it is what it is. So,
Legit, I'm broken. My hand's stuck in a gang sign.
oh boy. Eesh. Ay,
I
ay,
broke
ay.
it trying
Well,
to save a
hey,
cat.
it is what it is. So going back to the interracial discussion, do black actors have bigger dicks than male actors, or is that just a myth? Than white guys? Is it a myth or is it true? Just be
They're
honest.
typically bigger. That black from the waist down thing, that's not a lie.
Okay, so in your experience, now this isn't all men. We're talking about adult film actors. So in your experience, the average adult film black actor has a bigger member than the average white adult film actor.
Do you know who Brickzilla is?
I don't know any of that is, no.
He has the biggest ding dong I've ever seen. I called it a tiny house, and he's like, "Don't call it tiny."
Wow. His name is Godzilla, you said?
Brickzilla.
Brickzilla. Have you ever worked with him?
Yeah, his dick goes down to his knee, bro.
Holy, is that the one where you cracked her jaw, or did you even perform fellatio on the guy?
I don't even know how to describe it. It was like, you know what? It's like a big thing going into a tiny space.
So King Life says, does she know a dude named Dread? Dread.
Oh, everybody knows Dread.
Okay, who's Dread?
Dread is an African American performer.
Oh, he must have a huge.
He's tall and his ding dong's the size of my forearm.
Holy God! Have you ever worked with him?
No, actually, I was supposed to have a scene with him booked before the pandemic,
Ah, gotcha.
but it never happened.
Are you disappointed that it didn't happen, or are you glad or relieved?
A little bit, to be honest, because that would have been a great publication, but it's like, you know, I wouldn't expect the industry to be how it was now. And then it's like another reason why I'm leaving. It's like it's gone super woke. I can't handle it. It's too woke. And then
Wow.
I've been like silently getting canceled because I'm doing all the red pill stuff. But if they don't like it, fuck them.
Yeah, that's yeah. Listen, join the club. I've been dealing with that for fucking 5 years. Now, what was the Zilla actor that you did a scene with? What was his name again?
Brickzilla.
Brickzilla. So you worked with him. Was that sex? Did you enjoy the sex? Because I can't imagine having sex with a dude with a penis the size of your forearm. I'm sure it has its advantages,
It's
but
a little bigger. His is a little bigger than my forearm. Like his goes down to his knee.
oh my God. So what is that like? Is it good? Because you know what the myth is, Tiffany. Every guy wants to have the biggest cock in the world so he can please the ladies. But if you have a cock the size of Godzilla or Dre, whatever, Dread, is sex is it ever good with a penis that large?
No, you know, it's funny. Me and Troy went around Miami asking people if size matters and stuff. Like most of it, like the good average for a woman is maybe like 5 to 7 inches,
What?
and it's like that's a happy medium for women, and it's also the motion of the ocean.
Okay.
So you don't want to like be pounding the fuck out of her and stuff. It's like like women like the motion.
Yeah, I'm a pounder. I just like to get in there and
Get it done.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I used to have a porn addiction. That's why I stopped because I just didn't have any energy, and that's really where I learned to have sex. To be honest with you, I was like, all right, well, I guess I gotta
See,
fuck her
porn
like
is
I hate her.
educational.
Say again.
Porn is educational.
Porn is extremely educational, and I would submit to you, porn movies are more accurate in terms of real life relationships than romantic comedies. What say you?
Yeah, I would say it's very informative. I mean, like, I think if I were to continue to like, do adult movies, I'll do more like the EDU side and sell the EDU side.
What is EDU?
Education,
Oh,
not
educational.
EDU.
Oh my God, Jesus. So is that I'm like your teacher is talking about African American history and you're dressed up in some next to nothing and you end up banging him on the desk? Is that what that is?
No, Donovan, that's called a porno.
Oh, Jesus. Look, my mind's in the gutter. My mind's in the gutter, God damn it.
Clearly.
My mind is in the gutter. So what is the ideal, if you could have sex with one penis only for the rest of your life, what are the dimensions of said penis? So Tiffany Fox Botox. You can only have sex with one penis for the rest of your life. What is the size? What is the length? What is the girth? What's the motion? What are we looking for here?
Well, something that will fit like a glove, like, Cinderella and the glass slipper.
I need
Um,
numbers. I need numbers. I don't need Disney movies. I need numbers, girl. What's up? What is that? Do we have
that's
a,
like
is that
maybe
6?
like 6 inches would keep me happy.
6 inches will keep. No, I said ideal. Like, what is the ideal? Like, what is the best? Like to have the best sex you've ever had? So now we're at 8,
Between
7,
six and five,
6.
between 5 and 8.
Between 3 inches is a big difference, though. Am I wrong?
But the motion of the ocean, as long as they
Okay.
hit the G spot, we good.
All right. Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it. Now let me ask you this: have you ever now you've always had good experience with the brothers? Have there ever been any white male actors that have done something during a scene that you didn't want to do? Because I remember when I used to watch porn, every once in a while, you'll see a guy like pounding her from the back, and you'll see her squeezing his hand a little bit, and he'll stop, he'll slow down, whatever the case may be. But then there are some scenes where the girl squeezes his arm. He's like, no, I'm gonna keep pounding the absolute dog
Oh, I
shit
did
out of
that. I did that when I was overseas in Europe and stuff. I had some guy that was just like going to town, and I'm like tapping his leg. He didn't stop. I kept tapping his leg. He didn't stop. So I turned around and I backhanded him.
Wow. Did that end the scene, or did you have to finish the scene?
Yeah, I ended the scene. They
Oh,
never called me
okay.
back.
Okay. So I remember Sterling told me that there's something called a no list. I'm sure you have a no
Yeah.
list, correct? Okay.
I
And
have
so
a very extensive no list.
what that dude did got him on the no list. What are some things that male actors could do to get put on Tiffany Fox's no list?
They disrespect other performers. Like, I don't work with people that talk shit on other performers.
Okay.
Excuse me. That's like a red flag for me.
Okay.
Another thing is like, if they're known for testing dirty sometimes.
Ooh.
I
But they still
actually like
perform?
people. I do a lot of research on people, and like people don't really think I like really look into people. No, I really look into people. That's why I haven't caught an STD. I'm very so.
Okay.
They're known for catching STDs. If they're
Okay.
known for being kind of violent to women and everything. I had a producer actually sexually assault me on set before.
Now, when you say sexually assault, does this mean
Oh no, he full on grabbed my ass.
Oh, okay, because when I hear sexual assault, I'm thinking he had sex with you without your consent, but he grabbed your
No,
ass without your
that's
consent.
rape.
Okay, yes, obviously. I like how red pill centric you are with the vernacular. Like you have caught on very quickly in terms of what's okay and what's not. Very good. King Life in the chat wants to know about the guy in Europe that you were tapping and he didn't stop and you backhanded him. Was he hurting you? Is that the reason why you kept tapping him?
He was hurting me, and then off camera, I also asked, like, I like actually said in the scene, I'm like, you need to stop. You are hurting me, and he didn't stop.
So was it
So I
his
backhanded the motherfucker.
So was it his size that was hurting you? Or was it his girth? Like what was happening?
He he was very well endowed,
Sure.
but he didn't know how to use his tool.
Okay. So he just basically just kept pounding away because that's what. Okay, gotcha. Very good. All right, we got a question here from Ostrike with a $5 super chat. He wants to know, Tiffany, do you respect male actors as professionals, or do you see them as undignified people who make poor choices? That's a good question.
I actually respect everybody because you don't know people's situations. I address people how they treat me. Like, I'll address them with kindness and being polite if they're polite, or I just have nothing to do with them if they're disrespectful.
Gotcha. Okay, that
I,
makes
I
sense.
look at people two different ways. Porn people, even you, Donovan, Rolo, Myron, like, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I judge people on who they are.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Have you ever done a scene with an actor who came to the set who was not exactly clean? Like he hadn't taken a shower, like it's kind of funky down there.
Oh
Or
no, I leave.
oh, so it's happened to you before.
I leave.
Oh wow.
I also told I had a producer that was very disrespectful to me. I just packed up all my shit and I told him to shove his check up his ass and I walked out.
What about the guy who was dirty? Like, have you ever dealt with someone who was unclean, didn't take a shower, or are most male actors pretty clean in that regard?
Most of them are pretty clean, but there's been a couple that showed up that were stinky. There's actually I worked with a gay guy once actually. I didn't know he
Oh
was
wow.
gay.
Okay.
My agent didn't clear him and he happened to be gay. I was in Budapest. And I'm blowing this guy and I'm like wondering why he's not getting hard. And back then I was like 21, 20.
Yeah.
So, it's before I even thought about Botox.
Right.
I was blonde, tanned, really pretty, and you wouldn't get hard. And I'm just like, what's wrong with me? I took a shower,
Yeah.
put on deodorant,
Right.
I
Right. You were looking good. Everything was good, right?
everything was good. And then it's like, I looked at the guy, I'm like, look, I've been sucking your pee for like 3 hours. You're not getting hard. What's wrong with you?
What? 3 hours? Are you kidding?
So the PA took him in the bathroom, sucky.
Oh wait,
He was harder than 3 minutes.
Are you talking about the fluffer?
Oh, the PA was the fluffer.
Okay, so
this is how I knew he was gay because it's like the guy got him hard and I couldn't get hard. And I didn't do the scene.
Okay.
I didn't end up doing the scene because the PA was untested and sucked his dick. And I'm just like, well, you're untested and you just blew him. So pay me a kill fee. I'm out.
Wow. So you tried to get this dude hard for 3 hours. That is was that the time you cracked your jaw? Because that's a long dude. At 3 hours, I'm asleep. I'm like, all right, this is not gonna work.
No, I actually had a man crack my jaw.
Like with his pee-pee or with his fist?
With his foot.
How the hell was this?
I'm a domestic violence survivor.
Okay, now was this during a scene or was this outside?
No, this is like my personal relationship.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I don't want to get into that. I don't want you to have to relive any of that. Derek the Trader with the $5 super chat says, Tiffany, what do you plan on doing once you leave the adult industry? Very good question.
That's a great question. So I'm planning to get my real estate license.
Okay.
I want to sell commercial properties. I have a bunch of friends that buy up commercial real estate, buy houses for Airbnb rentals.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be getting into real estate. Currently right now I'm also working on me and Troy are actually working on a project.
That's right.
So hopefully that does well.
Yep.
And also I'm working on a video project. My really good friend's a DJ music producer. So I'm actually working on cutting up his videos in the 15-second shorts. And his PR agent has some other people for me if I do well for it. So
all right, fingers crossed.
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm already working on it.
ABR 1023 on the Rumble side says, has she known and or worked with Sarah J, I know who she is, Ava Devine or Denise Derringer.
I met Sarah J. She's cool.
Yeah.
Sarah J is cool.
Yeah. Sterling met her. I think she was on Fresh and Fit.
I never worked with her. I met her. She's very nice. I like her a lot.
Okay. All right. Very cool.
And I worked with Johnny Sins 4 times. He was cool too.
Okay. What's his name?
Johnny Sins.
Johnny Sins. Is that a brother? Is that another black dude?
No, it's a white guy. He's bald, blue eyes, wears for Brazzers a lot. He's been a doctor. He's been a lawyer. He's had many professions.
Oh, so he's actually been a doctor and a lawyer.
No, he just plays that in corn.
Now, see that? Now, you were talking about the teachers, and I said, well, wait a minute. Was this nigga up in the front doing Black History? You're like, no, that's porn. So now I got to get my mind out of the gutter. Okay, gotcha. Have you ever caught feelings for a co-worker?
Nope.
Never. Have you ever dated a coworker?
Nope.
So, but you've had great sex on the set. Is that correct, or is it just?
I've also had a lot of great sex off camera.
Okay, so you've never caught feelings or dated a coworker. That's interesting. Okay, so let me ask you another question. This will be very interesting. Do you find with that sex with civilians, in other words, sex with non-actors in the real world, do you find that sex with civilians is not as satisfying because of your experience on the set, or is it about the same?
Oh, I've had poom poom time with people outside the industry, and I'd say I had better poom poom outside the industry than poom poom inside.
Okay, who are you more likely to have good poom poom with? A civilian or an actor?
A civilian.
Really? So you're telling, and why do civilians fuck better than adult film actors? Why is that?
It's about finding the civilian that has the same kinks as you.
Oh, okay. All right. So it's really okay. So you just got to find someone who speaks the same language then.
Yeah, I speak degenerate.
Okay. You know what? I used to speak degenerate myself, but I'm trying to forget. Have you ever been with a civilian with a bigger package than a coworker?
I actually don't like guys with super massive dicks.
Oh, like the Zilla guy and the other guy. I've
Oh
already
no,
forgotten.
that's way too big, dude. I can't like.
What was that
that'd
like?
Be like a chore waking up to every morning.
So you did a scene with the Zilla guy, and I apologize, I'm butchering his name for the audience, guys.
It's okay,
So-
Brickzilla.
Brickzilla, there you go. So you did a scene with Brickzilla. What was it like? Was the sex good? Was it a chore? Did it hurt? Was it bad? What was the experience like?
Well, I smoked some marijuana after, and I took an Epsom salt bath.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. Just to kind of relax everything a little bit.
Close it back up.
That makes, oh, well, yeah. I mean, especially with a guy like Brickzilla, yeah, it takes a little bit of healing time. Here's another question. How do you prepare for backdoor scenes? Do you not eat for 12 hours? Do you give yourself an enema? How does that work?
Oh God.
Because you're
Well,
you're
you gotta stretch it. You gotta make room in the garage. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You gotta go through different stages of
Yeah, it's got to be an
cleaning
escalation.
yourself.
First you start with the sedan, then you pull out the sedan, then you maybe pull in a small SUV, then you pull out the SUV, then you maybe pull in a small bus, right? Is that about right?
You gotta go from like one of those little tin can cars, like the
Yes.
little mini cars.
Yeah.
And then you gotta go up to like the compact, and then you go to midsize, and then you go to the mini SUV, and
Okay.
then the family van.
And you do these with toys and all that stuff, right?
Butt plugs.
But of course, that makes perfect sense. So,
And then
okay.
so what you do, you have your last like solid meal before 1 in the afternoon, the day before, and then the night before you have a smoothie. And then in the morning, you wake up to gummy bears, and then you gotta
Gummy bears. Why is that?
just
To congeal everything
it
up
takes
to make sure it doesn't.
It takes a longer time to digest, and it
Okay.
also has sugar in it.
Okay. Wow, that is interesting. So do you give yourself an enema, or how does that work? Okay, so you do.
And
Okay.
then like I gotta have like I stopped doing them because I like almost fainted on set.
Wow.
Because I'm hyperglycemic, so I'm an opposite diabetic.
Oh,
Like,
yes, you need
I-
food.
I need sugar. I need
Yeah.
food. So I had to shove a Snickers bar down my throat halfway through the scene so I didn't pass out because my hands were just like shaking and like everything was
Right.
like going black and like I almost
Okay.
fainted. It was scary.
Now, a Snickers bar didn't come out the other end during the scene, did it?
Donovan, that's so bad.
Just making sure. I had to keep it as clean as possible. You said Snickers bar; they look kind of the same, so I figured I'd ask. Here's another question. Secondhand Truth says, "I hope I forget all this tomorrow." LOL.
You definitely won't. This will be engraved in your brain.
Yes, it will be. Now, you've clearly done girl, boy scenes. Have you ever done ATM scenes with another girl? And if you did, have you ever smelled, tasted, or seen a quote unquote surprise? If not, have you ever heard of it happening? Yes. Give us the goods.
This motherfucker's a taste of a surprise.
I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm trying to keep it clean for the audience. Have you? Well, you know, let me ask it a different way.
The only ATM I go to is to get my cash out. I don't do ATM.
Oh, okay. So you don't do. Okay, very good. So you're not eating Snickers bars out of the other end. In other words, right?
No.
Okay. Hey, look, hey, we all have our kinks. If that's your kink, I'm not mad at you. I'm just asking.
Great way to get hepatitis A, Donovan.
Oh, good God. Oh, see now see that's gross. Now I'm grossed out. Okay, very good. So you don't. So the only ATM you go to is to get cash out.
Yeah.
Do you respect men who say that they don't care? Like now we're going to talk about more like the dating and outside of the set. Do you respect men who say they don't care that you were or are an adult film actress when dating, or does it not matter to you?
I really don't care. I mean, you
Okay.
know, people can hate me. We live in America, and you want to hate women. That's your freedom to do so.
Sure.
We live in a free country. You know what I mean? Like, people can say whatever the fuck they want because I'm super pro-America, pro-free speech. If
Sure.
people want to say shit about me, so be it. That's their opinion. They're allowed to feel that way because, you know, if you start censoring what people say, that's when you become communistic.
Gotcha. Oh, yep. There you go. Communistic. That's a new one. I got a question here from ABR 1023 on the Rumble side.
I got an answer.
He says, Tiffany, do you believe that hentai, anime porn, is just as addictive or more addictive in comparison to regular porn? That's a very good question.
I don't know because I don't watch porn.
You don't watch? Oh, okay. So, well, of course you wouldn't have to. Of course you don't watch porn. You make porn, right?
I never watched porn.
How about that? So
I've never watched porn.
So you've never watched porn. So what was it like your first day on set? Talk about your first scene. Were you scared? Were you anxious? Like, what was that like?
I was scared. I was anxious. I was so nervous. I didn't eat the night before.
Which is
I
good.
was like having a bunch of anxiety of like hoping my parents wouldn't find out. My parents found out. I mean, my dad has brain damage, so he'll forget like 15 seconds later. But
right.
I was really scared.
Okay. And
like,
were your fears confirmed, or did it go as well as you thought?
I mean, everybody was really nice to me. You know what I mean? Because it's like they see you as a dollar sign, and they want you to come back so they can still keep making money off of you. Okay. So they're going to treat you very nice, obviously.
Okay, good. Well, this is what employers do. They don't want to treat their employees like dog shit because they want them to come back to work.
Unless they're Harvey Weinstein.
unless they're Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, you're Derek Hay.
I have no idea who that is, but I know who.
That's the pandering guy.
Oh, the pandering guy, the pimp, the pimp. Let me ask you.
He had to dissolve his agency, and then they opened up another agency. I forgot what the name was.
Oh, another agency.
Yeah, like he has someone else running it because he was like forced to shut down, but he's still in the business because the government doesn't do shit.
Here's an interesting question from Mike Steele. By the way, Mike Steele, who you met at the CME, he was the guy who looked like the Cuban drug dealer.
Oh, yeah. Yes. What up, dude?
Yeah, he's in the chat. He wants to know, is there any kind of plot line / story that you would object to, or are you down for whatever?
Well, I don't do, like, the grapey stuff. You know what I mean? I don't like doing that. I don't like doing, like, extreme torture. Like when I shot movies, it's what I feel good doing.
Okay, you said extreme torture. So there is prawn with extreme torture. Oh my god.
There's ones where they zap you, but they put clamps on you, and it's really painful.
They fucking tase you?
Pretty much. They have a little zoop, 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 zoop.
Like a fucking cattle prod?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Who the fuck's gonna have fun with that? Oh my god, dude, look, Tiffany, check this out. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned schoolgirl porn? Whatever happened to my car broke down and I need to suck your dick? Like, whatever happened to that? Now we're into this.
Because now, like, being over 25, you do MILF stuff.
Oh, yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. So when you're over 25, you're a MILF?
Or 23.
Oh my god. So what age is considered over the hill, quote unquote, for a porn actress?
So like 23 to like 27, 28 are like the awkward years where you don't get booked that much.
Really?
And then when you hit 30 plus, you get booked for all the stepmom stuff.
Oh god. stepmom.
Like as a joke, like they'll be like, what's your name at Starbucks? And I'll have them write like stepmom.
Oh, well, hey, at least you leaned into it. At least you leaned into
I
it.
have fun with it. I
Hey,
like,
you
you
may
know
as
what?
well. You may
I'm
as
getting
well.
out of it, but it's like I still make jokes about it.
Hey, you may as well. King Life with the $5 super chat says, has she ever worked with Adriana Chechik?
She used to be my roommate.
Oh, okay. Who is? I guess she's a popular.
Adriana Chechik. We lived together about 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago when
Oh,
she
wow.
first got started out. And before I had my first Twitter actually banned, I had more than her, actually, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
But we used to live together. We didn't like each other at first, but we like got along like before I moved out.
Okay.
And me and her are still cool. I got nothing to say about her. Like we actually met up a couple years ago, like at her birthday party and everything. And we had this roommate we didn't like. None of us liked this one roommate. This bitch ate all of her food, smoked all of her weed, drank all of her booze. Like we did not like her.
She's got to go. She's drinking all your booze and smoking all your weed. She's got to go.
No, you know what my idea was, and what Adriana actually helped me with, which was fucking hilarious. We put a bunch of our dildos. We put 14 dildos on this bitch's door.
How did she respond to that?
She opened up the door and she's like, "You guys are a bunch of dicks," with all these dildos on her door.
Oh my god!
And she slams it, and then like all the dildos like fly off.
And I'm sure you guys probably thought that. Yes, I can clearly see that you thought that. Wow.
It's 10 years later, and I still think it's funny as fuck.
Look, check this out. Now, see, here we go. I'm going to give you a business idea. You could start a podcast being open and honest about your time in the business. You can call it the 14 Dildos Podcast. I think that would be a very good.
Actually, when I do talk about the business, my channel is All In with Tiff.
Oh, okay.
So I actually do talk about the business on my
Oh, well, never mind.
My channel. I'm trying to build it up and get it monetized so I can start taking people's money like you do, Donovan.
No, I don't take people's money. They give it to me. Has there ever been a time where you actually looked forward to doing a scene? Like you're like, I'm doing a scene with so-and-so. I'm horny. I can't wait to fuck this guy. I can't wait to have sex with this guy.
No, actually, when I look forward to like having scenes with people and stuff, it's because I've already worked with them.
Okay.
So it's like I get more excited about hanging out with them and smoking a blunt after versus the actual work.
Gotcha. So
like they're fun to hang out with. Like we talk shit to each other on set, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. What's it like hanging out with someone you've had sex with? Because clearly, and listen, you know how we feel in this community about men and women being friends, like friends that you see all the time. But in the business, it really, I mean, like, you really do have to be friends with people in the business because you can't really talk to anybody else who identifies with your experience. So what's it like being literally platonic friends with men that you've had actual intercourse with? What's that like?
It's easy.
Okay.
It's really easy. Like it's like, you know how you all talk in the Red Pill space about how men can like separate like emotion and sex.
Yeah. Yes.
That's kind of how I was programmed in porn, so I understand like how men think.
Okay.
And it scares men, apparently.
What about what scares men? You said
that I can separate emotion from sex.
Oh yeah, that would scare me too. Because when a woman can separate emotion from sex, then that means that she's not going to stick around, even if we bang the shit out of her.
Wrong.
Enlighten me, please. Oh my God, Joy Taylor is the Joker. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It is the anomaly.
Okay.
The anomaly of the red pill statistics exists. I told Rolo he should write book 6 about the anomaly.
Yeah, did you really? What did he say?
Yeah, I told Rolo. That motherfucker's watching right now. He can call you and tell you.
Rolo, let's do it.
Rolo, call Donovan.
Here's another thing. I talk to Rolo all the time. What limitations have you faced due to your line of work in your personal life?
What have I what?
What limitations have you faced due to your line of work in your real life, professional, and personal life? Like, what doors have closed because you are in the business?
Well, my dating life, right? Non-existent.
Well, of course.
Non-existent.
Okay.
Tiffany's apparently fun for a short time, but not a long time.
Well, you know how that goes. King Life with the $10 super chat. He says, do old coworkers have a chance to come through and smash off camera?
No.
Oh, so you don't have casual sex with coworkers off camera? How
No,
about that? Now, why is
I
that?
separate it.
Okay, okay. And why is that? Well, because I'm sure. Well, I don't know. Maybe this is common practice. But
So,
do you know actresses who date other coworkers? And does
yeah,
that?
they do. A lot of people do date within the industry, but the problem I find with that is like if you got problems or you're sharing your life with someone in that industry of sex work,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like the whole industry knows about your business.
yeah, yeah. That's very true. And I think I would have a problem with if I'm a male actor and I'm dating a female actress, I would have a big problem with her getting pounded out like 2 hotel rooms down. I could certainly never do that. That's just not something I'm gonna do.
Well,
So
then there's also the 5% of like the heterosexual population that likes that kinky swinger shit.
yeah, that's definitely not me.
5%.
Yes, yeah, 5%, and I am not in that 5%. What are the now? So let me ask you. Let me take it in another direction. What are some of the benefits, if you can think of any, of being an adult film actress? Because it can't be all bad. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been in it for 12 years.
Well, you don't get sexually frustrated.
Well, yeah, I can imagine so. Yeah, probably right.
The money's great.
Okay.
I grew up in poverty and stuff. So it's like I grew up with my lights going off. I grew up with my hot water going off, cold showers sometimes,
Yeah.
food insecurity. So I was able to see 35 countries.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, like I never appreciated this country until I actually left it and I actually came back kissing the soil of this
You
country.
know it. You fucking know it, man. You are
There's
goddamn
no
right.
place like America. And
That's
if
right.
people hate it, go see 35 countries and tell me how awful it was.
Okay, very good. I'm gonna give you a Don DeMarco. I'm gonna give you a Don DeMarco for real, man, for real. Ken Rose with the $10 super chat. I appreciate that very, very much. Do you regret getting into the business?
Yeah, actually I do.
How about that, and why is that?
Well, I grew up with a single mother, so I
Sure.
never grew up knowing like what men like were really about type of things. I grew up without my dad. Like my dad is like 10-second Tom from 50 First Dates pretty much. So I gotta have fun with
Good
it.
movie.
I love my dad, but he's a jackass for giving up. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna be
yeah.
honest about that.
Right, right.
Um, but like every daughter needs her father. You know what I mean? And it's
Sure.
like, so I didn't have anyone tell me like, hey, men aren't gonna respect you.
Right,
Men aren't gonna take you seriously.
right.
Um, so I mean, I do have a big regret sometimes getting into it because it's
Okay.
like, I feel really lonesome at night
Yeah,
sometimes.
right, right, right. And it's interesting that you actually admit that because in your opinion, do most girls regret because you're the first actress I've ever talked to or ever heard of who says, "Yeah, I kind of regret getting into the business."
I kind of regret it, but at the same time, if I never got into it, I wouldn't have been able to go see the world. I wouldn't have been
Sure.
able to be in Amsterdam for a year and
Okay.
learn Dutch and ride a bike when I was freaking stoned off my ass
Yeah.
and after leaving the pub and
Okay,
you know,
so that would be well, you said that earlier. That's some of the benefits of being an actress. The money is good, you get to travel, you get to
yeah,
see the
the
world.
money is great. It got me out of poverty. Like,
Okay.
I went from the hood to the hills. So it's like, it took me to a very nice place. It's, I was very lucky to have the mentor that I had before I gone into it. I met my mentor when I was like 17
Okay.
working at Together as One. It was a electronic event in
Good.
Los Angeles.
Okay.
So I had my mentor, so I guess I was like the only like man figure I had, like, like a man
Ah.
telling me to be a lady and all this other stuff. Because it's like my mom was very masculine.
Yeah,
She's
of
a very
course.
masculine woman because she's single.
Right,
So
right.
I grew up pretty masculine before I started dropping into my feminine.
Gotcha. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Has your career affected your views on men? Does the way you view men has it changed because of the business?
No, I've actually always respected men until they gave me a reason not to respect them.
Okay. Yeah, like
So
continuing to pound away even though you're tapping on his, thigh or whatever.
So with the red pill space, like, I respect you very much. I respect Rolo. I respect Myron Fresh. I respect Michael. I respect Troy. I respect Adam. But there's one person I really, really do not like in this space, and they're called the unfiltered people. Like, those are the only people I didn't like. I feel like those guys give the red pill for men a horrible sense.
You said the unfiltered people? Are you talking about the black pill guys?
The unfiltered podcast people, I don't know, those guys are pieces of shit. They had me on their show, and they were very nice to me to get me on it.
Yeah.
And I was really nice to them, and they were very disrespectful. So people like that give the red pill community a very bad, foul name.
Yeah.
Gives you a bad name, Donovan. You know what I mean? It gives Rolo a bad name, gives Myron a bad name.
Yeah.
But these people actually stole from Fresh and Fit and started their podcast. So,
well, listen, they didn't necessarily quote unquote steal from Fresh and Fit because nobody owns a concept. They tried to imitate it and they failed miserably. That's probably why they're upset.
oh
anyway,
yeah, no,
right?
but they used to work for him and stole money from Myron.
Oh, now that I didn't know. So
Yeah.
okay. Well,
Cat's out of the bag, but you know what? Fuck them.
All right, very good. Okay. Optimistic Realizer says, yeah, the unfiltered podcast are asses. Yeah, sounds like
Thank you.
Yeah, sounds like they're a bunch of what I like to call meathead red pill guys who take the red pill and they just go to the extreme. I don't get.
I'm pretty sure they don't get laid though. Like, if you think about how they talk to women and stuff, that the way they talk to women is like how men talk to that don't get enough pum pum. You know what I mean?
Maybe, but
They probably circle jerk with each other. I don't know.
Well, a lot could be said about the circles that I run in. The difference is that you have to. No, seriously, a lot of people say, well, this is an echo chamber. No, it's not an echo chamber. It's a fucking community of people who are like-minded. When people say this is an echo chamber, that's shaming language to give them permission to create a fissure in our community. Yeah, let's let other people. Let's let Destiny in. Let's let Melina in. Let's let Pixie in.
I can't take anybody with blue hair seriously, especially a man.
Oh my god. Oh, good god. No, listen. His wife shits in the forest and she fucks other guys. I have no respect for him.
What a cuck.
I have no respect for him. I have no respect for his woman. And if I see him in person, I'm gonna fucking tell him as much. I don't give a shit.
I know you will too.
I'm not the type of dude that's gonna fucking pretend that I'm cool with somebody that I'm not really fucking cool with. If I ever see Destiny and hey, I'd be like, dude, I know who you are. I'm not gonna shake your hand. Please keep moving. Like, fuck that. Fuck out of here. Panda Trucker with the $10 super chat. She says, Tiffany, are you aware? Okay, now here we go. Now, Panda Trucker, he says, Tiffany, are you aware that as a mattress actress, you essentially close the door on finding a man of higher quality? And how would you approach that conversation with someone?
Honestly, I don't think it closed the door to many people. You know what I mean? Because it's like some men would like that I'm bisexual because a lot of I didn't discover my bisexuality until I was in adult movies.
Okay.
And a lot of women are kind of about the idea of bringing in a third.
Okay.
And I'm more like, ooh, you want that? Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
I say become more of a wingman, if anything. But
yeah, listen, men of the quote unquote high value man, for women in your industry, for women who do what you do, that's out of the question. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't get a man whose value is a little bit higher than yours, but the odds are not in your favor. I think.
You also got to understand too. A lot of those women, they act very masculine.
Yep.
And then there's women that drop into their feminine.
Well, it absolutely. Listen, dropping into your feminine would be very, very good because again, the past is the past. But it's a lot of high value men are just they're not checking for women. And just like you said, I'm sure you've dated guys before, but they only keep you around for so long. At some point, that's kind of a mind job, and I imagine that's probably why you're trying to get out of the business.
Yeah, epiphany. Tiffany's having an epiphany.
The epiphany with Tiffany.
The epiphany with Tiffany.
I got a question here from the audience. Jose Luis Herrera says, if you had a daughter, would you let her get into the business? Interesting question.
I answered this on Valuetainment. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not. Just to let you.
Wouldn't.
Oh, go ahead.
I wouldn't let her get in the business. I'll do everything I can to not have her in the business. But I mean, I don't really want to have kids anyways because it's I don't want to bring a child into the world that I hate.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. And just so you know, you're going to find this a lot about me. There are a lot of people that I don't like. Adam Sosnick is one of them. I used to be cool with Adam Sosnick, but I'm not cool with him anymore. I think he's a snake. I think he's dishonest. I think he's fucking Natalia, and I think she's taken over that show. The reason I'm not cool with Adam Sosnick, and I'll just go ahead and tell you the story here. I've actually already got the video. I invited him to be a speaker at the Conference of Masculine Excellence. This was a couple weeks ago. Let's rewind a little bit. I've been on Sosnick, I think 2 or 3 times. The last time I was on Sosnick, he allowed the women on the panel to just berate me. One woman was talking about my mama. The other one was saying I'm a broke bum. And like, they mercilessly attacked me. Adam sat there and let them do it. But as soon as I clap back a little bit, he says, okay, now let's be respectful. I have no time, Tiffany, for fucking men like that who don't stand up to women for other fucking men. Adam, you're a man. Be on the man side for once, you fucking idiot. I don't give a fuck how rich you are. Fuck that. So that's but that's the first reason I'm not cool. The second reason I'm not cool with Adam is because at the end of that podcast, I was talking about the CME. And I was like, hey, hey, Adam, you're going to be speaking at the CME and blah, 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 blah. Natalia asked him, and I was on the screen, so nobody actually saw it, but we all heard it. Natalia asks him, you're going to that? And he said, I just got invited. So this son of a bitch, to stay in the good graces of the producer of this chick that he's clearly fucking, to save face to impress her, he's going to slight me. He agreed to come and speak to see me 2 weeks ago, but all of a sudden he's going to act like, I just got invited. God forbid he admit to the great and powerful Natalia that, I just got invited. And what the fuck is she going to be privy to your private activities? Why do you have to answer to her? I'm not cool with men who answer to fucking women. Adam Sosnick answers to women. Not cool with that guy. Sorry. I'm
not getting involved. I respect it 1,000%.
Look, check this out. Look, listen, man. You talk to anyone who's worked with me. I got a big heart, man. I will bend over backwards. Dude, ask
You
Kevin,
are really a nice guy,
Kevin
and I
Sabo.
love your sense of humor when I met you in person.
Well, ask Kevin Sabo, ask Kevin Samuels, I help everybody. But for whatever reason, I think that Adam is just a goddamn clout chaser. That's what he is. He's a clout chaser. He thinks he's red pill. He's not. I think he is mentally weak. I think he's afraid of women, and we're just gonna leave it at fucking that. So that's just that. I don't give a fuck. Here's another question by Gentleman Garodi. He says, we know that when some women start treating sex as a job, that often flows into their personal lives as well. Has that changed your views on men interpersonally? This is kind of the same question, but I guess if you want to answer.
Nah, never did. You know what? The one thing that would turn me off from having sex with a guy, it's they kind of stump their own chances. I always go into everything with an open heart.
Okay.
And everything. So, if I like you, I like you. I let it known that I like you.
Okay.
But it's when things get done to reject me, that's when I start closing myself off.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Miami J with the $2 super chat. He says, breathe, bro, breathe. Well, you got a taste of my, yes. Yeah. A couple questions left here. Oh, this is the last question I have here. Pro Special says, how do you feel when people openly show disdain towards you because of what you do?
I pretend like they don't exist.
Okay.
I smile. I'm polite. I use my manners.
Okay. All right.
I tend not to be negative towards people. I like to be the bigger person and set the example, because a lot of women in my industry are quite trashy.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so you and Troy have a course that you guys are releasing here pretty soon. Tell me.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, tell me about the course. I think Troy is there with you. I don't know if he's still there or not, but if you want to, go ahead and bring him over, and either you, him, or the both of you can explain what it is and where to find it.
So we're doing an intimacy course. We're combining the powers of dating and sex and making it into one.
Okay.
So, teaching guys
how to hit that G spot.
Obviously bringing into what's already out there, how to pick up the girl, and it's about how to keep the girl. What it's okay to be. I'm not gonna give everything away, but we posted some little spoilers up on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
About it's okay to be weird in dating, women like a sense of humor, because it's I can't even fuck with a guy if he can't make me laugh.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so you're teaching guys, hey, it's not just looking good, you gotta have a sense of humor, etc. There he is, and with us is the
Donovan,
man,
how are
Troy,
you?
the man, Francis. What's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
I followed him. I found him.
It's good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. I got over the flu. So Devin and I, we were gonna go on a cruise to Alaska. We fucking caught the flu in Miami. We probably could have gone, but But there are a
Jesus.
lot of older people on cruise ships, and we didn't want to get anybody sick. Alaska's not going
Yeah.
anywhere, and we were fucking dog tired. So we said, you know what? We're just going to chill out for a week. That's
Yeah,
how
probably a
we'll do
good
it.
idea after the after that weekend. It's a
Jesus
brilliant
Christ.
conference, by the way.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So what you been
It
up
was
to?
so good. Well, so basically after that, then I went over to, was it Colombia, the next place?
Yeah, he went to
Yeah, I
Bogota.
went to Colombia because I was teaching a boot camp there with James Tusk.
Yo, good.
And then I came over here to New York, and I'm working with a couple of students here in New York. So yeah, just been doing that, man, really. So it's
Good.
been pretty busy.
Excellent.
But yeah, so we're working on this course, which we are calling Magnetic Sexual Confidence. And
Okay.
basically, it is, as Tiff said, it's like a combination between, you know, the dating coach stuff, the game stuff, but also the sex stuff. And what we said, obviously, we're going to get into the nitty gritty with some modules about sex and what you actually do in the bedroom and
Right.
all that kind of stuff, which people need to know.
Yeah.
But equally, there's the other part of it, which is like, if you don't have that sexual confidence in the first place, then even when you first approach the girl, she's going to be able to tell. You know what I'm saying? So what you want to do is right from the start, you want to emanate that sexual confidence. So the girl's like, okay, this guy knows what's up.
Okay.
And then it's going to make the whole rest of the process easier.
Very good. Very good. And when does this course get released?
Well, we're putting the finishing touches. We've actually recorded
good.
most of it already in Miami. We've got a bit more to do now, and then the release date is probably going to be, I would say, later.
Sometime in November.
It's going to be later in November, so we
Okay.
will obviously keep you guys updated on that. But yeah, we're going to be.
He's putting all the videos together, and
Okay.
I did all the artwork. I put my motion graphic stuff into use. I made an intro.
Oh, very
like, where
good.
it's a graphic. I made 2 different graphics. I'm also editing all of our photos and watermarking them.
Yeah, we think this is really exciting because I can't think of anybody who's done really anything quite like this. Because obviously,
Yeah.
like I say, you've got the one side, you've got like the game side of things,
Sure.
and the dating advice for men side of things, and then you've got the porn girl, you know, sex advice as well. So we're
Sure.
trying to really cover everything here and put it together in one cohesive package.
And I'm the side that tells men like what women really want and like. So I think it's going to be really, really good for the guys and beneficial.
I'll tell you what, the most educational thing that we can take away from this conversation is that having a huge dick really works to your disadvantage. It looks great.
Well.
It looks great on screen, and the girls are moaning and groaning, pretending they love having a 12-inch cock in their ass. But when it really comes down to it, it's probably uncomfortable. And so,
Wow.
listen, man, all of my brothers out there with 6, 7, and possibly 8-inch slungs, you're still in there, man.
Hey!
Well,
There you
thank
go.
God for that.
Yeah,
But,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think there's so much to cover with this sex stuff because we actually, so when I was in Colombia, right, we had this boot camp with a bunch of these dudes and we're teaching them to go and pick up girls. And there's obviously varying degrees that people come into this stuff. But some of these guys, you know, maybe they've only slept with 1 or 2 women. Some of them maybe even a virgin, right?
Sure.
So they haven't had that sexual experience. They don't know what they're doing. So they're reticent to take a girl to the bedroom in the first place.
Yeah, right.
And secondly, their inexperience comes through to the women. So because you know, it's like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer.
Absolutely,
You know, like
yeah.
the guy who gets laid a lot is the guy who's women are gonna, you know, be attracted to and select because he just shows that he knows what he's doing.
Look, guys and sex and sexual access are like banks. Banks don't want to lend money to people who need the money. They lend money to people who don't need the money. It's the same with sex. Girls don't want to bang guys who aren't having sex. They want to bang the guys who are having sex.
Exactly. And have you noticed that thing where, you know, back in the, you know, you get laid and then the next day you go out and you've got that spring in your step, you've got that energy and the girls are just looking at you. They're paying attention. They can smell it on you, you know?
Yeah, of course.
So what we want to do is get guys upskilled to that level so that they can start to have these sexual experiences, but also they're not afraid of it anymore. So they can go out there, do what they need to do in order to get the girls, and then it's going to build on itself, like compound interest.
Excellent. That's very good. Devin says, not great to have this in the background when answering the door for trick-or-treaters. Yeah, Tiffany is scaring off innocent children who are coming by for Halloween. So, and listen, now I've been the most vulgar with the not to get too vulgar with it, but we talked about Snickers bars in a very so Troy caught that. Okay, yes. So I was the one. Now Tiffany's never gonna eat another Snickers bar again. Like that's just not. I don't think anybody will eat a Snickers.
No, you ruined Snickers for me, man. That was my favorite candy bar.
Yeah, Snickers really satisfies. Not in this particular case. Tiffany, give me your final thoughts on yourself, the business, the industry. What do you want the people to know about you that they wouldn't otherwise know if they didn't know you personally?
Well, I am different from who I am on camera.
Okay.
Off camera, I'm very ladylike.
So
I'm
you're
very
not the
polite.
so you're not the sultry vixen 24/7.
I mean, like,
Well, you're saying that, but what about that dude you said you were gonna, who was hitting on you in the bar, and you were gonna get your shoe and like?
So
oh
there was a dude
god,
hitting on you at the bar. What happened?
No, do you remember that it was because I was doing Pearl or something like that, and you were at the bar and you said, "Oh, this guy's hitting on me. I'm going to take my shirt off and like start smacking him."
oh yeah, no, I took I was out with Icy from FNF, and
Oh,
like,
I see. That's my girl, man.
I love her. Icy's amazing.
Yeah, she's
Me
awesome,
and her were out in Brickell, and like, there's this guy that wouldn't go away, and I'm just like looking at him like, you know,
The ghetto came out basically. That's
yeah,
what we're saying.
the ghetto actually really did come at me. I like to be very ladylike. I'm like, hey, I'm not interested. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Then I'm like, hey, motherfucker, I'll take my shoe off and beat you with it and give everybody a show.
Ay. Never a dull
It's like, you know, like people can't take no for an answer, and it's just like it's really annoying when you're trying to be polite and you're trying to be polite. And you're trying to be polite. Gentlemen, just take no for a fucking answer and walk away, because people like me will beat you with the heel of their shoe and the Latino will come out.
Dude, so with that, that is going to do it for this special Tuesday episode. Tiffany, listen, I think I speak for everybody when I say thank you very, very much for coming on today. I greatly appreciate your candor, your honesty, your openness. It can't be easy to talk about things that are this personal to a broad audience, but I greatly
it
appreciate
is when you're trying to get out of it, because it's like, I know people in my industry are gonna see this and be like, oh, fuck that Tiffany bitch.
Okay.
But it's like, you know, you can grow out of porn, you know what I mean? You can make lemonade out of lemons. You can do something that actually benefits and help people, which I really hope what me and Troy do together actually really help people.
Did you say when you went on Pearl and then Gary the numbers guy was there giving you shit and everything? She was battling against like 4 of them. It was pretty
okay, you know
intense.
what? First of all, Gary's a numbers guy. He's really good at numbers.
You don't have a chance against Gary. You don't have a
You
chance, fam.
know what? My body count's a lot lower than his calorie intake.
Okay.
I don't. You know what? I was trying to be nice to him, but like he was going after me. I was being very polite, very intelligent. Like, you know, Troy was sitting right next to me. My hand started curling underneath the table. My toes started curling in my toes.
Damn.
Like, into my heels. And it's just like, I really wanted to throw my mic at him. I'm not going to lie. And then I like was sitting next to this guy, and I'm like, okay, got to be ladylike. And then he gets out of his chair and just starts yelling at him. It was like the best shit I've ever seen in my life.
It's going to be quite funny when the episode comes out.
I was so excited.
Aye, that should be funny.
This little incel, he comes back after me the next day, retweets a picture of me and Rolo, and initiates talking shit. So I, like, you know, obviously I'm gonna pick on him for his weight and stuff, because it's like you're trying to come at me, call me a whore, call me all these really disrespectful names.
Fair
like,
game. Yeah, you're a fat ass. Fuck you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, you know, I come from a big family and stuff. Like, I really don't like going after people for that, but it's like, you know, it was an easy target for me. And eventually what got him to shut up, because the guy, like, I don't think you should involve your wife in any fight that you have. And this guy is like such a piece of shit. He brings his wife into it, which is like, you lose your man card for that. You bring in a woman into it.
Wow.
You're a pussy.
Okay.
So he brings his wife into it. And I'm just like, I can't wait to watch you when the episode comes out and Troy makes you submit like a little beta bitch that you are. And then he stopped. Because Troy put him in his place, and it was fucking great.
Software engineer, welcome to chat privileges. He also has a $20 super chat. Says, how do you prepare for a scene? How many hours? He actually says, how do you prepare for Lana? I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's a typo. How many hours, days in advance? What do you eat?
I already said it.
What is Lana? Oh,
And
you put
backwards.
it. Oh, yes, Lana, the backwards thing. Yes. So, yes. You got to back it up. So, I'll explain. I'll explain here. She doesn't eat anything past 1:00 p.m. the day before. And then before you go to bed, you don't eat anything. And then when you get up in the morning, you eat gummy bears with the sugar in it, because it stays in your stomach longer and keeps Snickers bars from developing.
Woman's diet, pretty much.
Yes. Okay. Yes. The key is to develop Snickers Snickers bars from rearing their ugly head. So I think that's what he was talking about. This episode was brought to you by Snickers, the one that really satisfies. Troy, Tiffany. Oh, go ahead.
Get your channel monetized by. Get your channel sponsored by Snickers. Tiffany.
Oh my God, that would be the most gangster shit ever. But she would never, dude. She could never eat a Snickers on the air. She just couldn't do it. She just couldn't do it.
Take a short. Well, no.
You know what?
No,
I'm going to start.
You can't do that.
I think I'm going to start using the word Snickers in place of backdoor fun. I think that because we call it the Hershey Highway. Troy, Tiffany, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you both very, very much for making time for us today. Tiffany, thank you very much for your honesty. Thank you for your candor.
Having me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Donovan.
Absolutely. Troy, dude, I've known you for years, man. You're a stand-up dude. Glad that you made time for us today. Thank you two very much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, and I hope to see some of you guys in our course.
Absolutely. Yes. Listen, when your course drops, you got to let me know so we can do another podcast on that.
Yeah, we definitely will. It'll be in a couple weeks. So
Perfect.
we'll be back, and he's going to be back in England, so we're going to both be remote.
Perfect. You guys take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
See you soon.
All right, very good. Troy and Tiffany. There we go. So a very interesting, very interesting podcast. Thank you guys all for your super chats. Thank you for all of your questions. I appreciate you guys keeping it respectful. Thank you for a software engineer. Thank you for the super chats. Panda Trucker, Ken Rose, King Life, Derek the Trader, Ostrike, Damian Orozco with the $2 super chat says pink sock. Jesus Christ. Roadblock 85, appreciate that. Dre Raven, Ostrike again, King Life again, Derek the Trader again, and of course, Mike Steele. I'm going to jump in the shower, and hopefully Devin and I dominate again tonight in bowling. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. We'll see you next time.